Welcome, everybody. We're opening with this song by the 360 Band.
We're all discombobulated. Y'all can feel free if the Spirit moves you to stand up, sing the chorus, sing any part of it you know. You're all welcome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, then start.
Let there be peace in my mind. Let there be peace in the earth.
Om Shanti,
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
Oh, peace inside my mind, God, and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God, and only God I live to see. Peace inside my mind, God, and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God, and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
Peace inside my heart, God, and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God, and only God I live to see. Peace inside my heart, God, and only God is moving me.
Peace inside my heart, God, and only God I live to see. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
Peace inside the earth, God, and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God, and only God I live to see. Peace inside the earth, God, and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God, and only God I live to see.
Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Shanti, Om.
Om Shanti, Om.
When there is peace in my mind, there will be peace in the earth.
Don't leave. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Don't leave. Anybody having a birthday this month, will you stand up, please?
Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you.
I'm Christy Carr, practitioner for the day. I want to welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, where we inspire and empower people to live spiritually fulfilling lives. The practitioners in service today are me, and I will be available for prayer after the service by the bell. Everybody, please turn and wave to the camera, and as we do, we'll invite the children up to the stage. I would like to thank all the wonderful members in service here today. In the audio, we have Lindy and Joey. The board member today is Marty. We don't have the bookstore today. Children's service, church is Bonnie, correct? In the kitchen, we have Shirley and Bill. The musical, the 360 band, and Doug and Ronnie as our ushers. Please silence any cell phones. If you're new with us today, please raise your hands. If so, our ushers will bring you a welcome packet, or you're welcome to pick one up after service in the back. If you would like a tour of the grounds, we will be available after the service. And let's do our announcements. Kat is going to do a Shakespeare preview for our little skit on New Year's Eve. Kat?
So, our activity on New Year's Eve this year will be a Reader's Theater version of Twelfth Night. That means I'll have many copies of the play, and everybody will be invited forward, as you feel like it, to read a character in a scene, or read that character more than once, or different characters and all that. And I thought it just might be fun to begin to introduce a few of our main characters. So, you two together. Here we have identical twin brother and sister. You can clearly see that, okay, they are brother and sister, so maybe they're not completely identical. But other than that, looking at them, you would never be able to tell them apart, right? Right. They are shipwrecked, but they have washed up on different parts of the countryside, and neither knows that the other is alive. And each is really sad, worrying that his or her beloved twin is dead. Let's see your sadness. But you have to look apart because you don't see each other. Yeah, you don't know. You don't know where your twin is. So this is Sebastian and Viola. Sebastian and Viola. But now that we know Sebastian is alive, we don't need him anymore right now. So he's just going to give us a wave and go off stage. All righty. So, Viola, what's a girl to do? Washed up ashore in the 16th century, she'd better get a job by dressing as a man. So, she decides to become a page to the handsome Count Orsino. So she dresses exactly like her brother Sebastian, and she presents herself as the page, taking the name Cesario. Now, as soon as Viola sees Count Orsino, she is struck by his manly beauty. Who wouldn't be? And she falls madly in love with Count Orsino. But Count Orsino has no interest in Viola, dressed as Cesario the page, because he is in love with the beautiful Countess Olivia. But the beautiful Countess Olivia will have nothing to do with Count Orsino. Her brother has died, and she is devoted to her mourning. And she wears a mask because for 7 years no man shall behold her face. Right. Now, Count Orsino cannot woo Olivia himself because she won't even talk to him. So he decides to send his new page, Cesario, to woo Olivia on his behalf. And off she goes towards him. Right. And she says many wonderful things. And what happens? Countess Olivia falls in love with Cesario. Here's our core love triangle of the play. And Viola, who is the only person who knows that she is really a woman dressed as the page boy Cesario, says, you might want to use the microphone.
Okay. Poor lady, she were better left to dream. Disguise, I see thou art a wickedness, wherein the devil, our enemy, does much. How easy it is for woman's waxen heart to see their forms. Alas, our frailty is cause, not we, for such we are made of, such we be. How will this go? My master loves dearly, and I, poor monster, found as much on him. And she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. What will become of this? As I, a man, my state is desperate for my master's love. And as I am a woman, now at last the day, what thriftless signs shall poor Olivia breathe? O time, thou must untangle this, not I. It is too hard for me, a knot for me to untie.
Whoops. And so that's the basic setup for 12th night. We'll have a lot of fun with it, and I hope you'll be here. There'll be a light repast after the play, and this is a large text, and we're going to do the best parts of the play, so come and have fun with us.
Thank you. Okay. I will finish the announcements. Our holiday gifts and holiday jewelry sale is today through December 18th. The Bliss Saving Team is presenting beautiful, let me stay in the theme here, beautiful baskets with love and care. They strive to create a unique collection of baskets that will bring joy every lucky winner. Buy your raffle tickets today. Our teddy bears, is today, Sunday, December 18th. I got that wrong. Today, through December 18th. Let's fill the front of the sanctuary with cuddly bears. We will pour love into each child Sunday services before delivering them. Mary, is she here? No. She's doing a support group, a caregiver support group, Thursday, December 8th, 10 to 12. You're invited to join us as we learn how to be the most centered and compassionate caregivers we can be. Get to know others and how they handle the most challenging situations. The spiritual jam is this Friday, December 8th from 7 to 8:30. Bring an instrument, clap your hands. That's a wonderful circle. I love it. Sue has an announcement to make now.
Good morning. A couple of things I wanted to say. The theme that I kind of thought about for our Christmas this year was, in the spirit of generosity, was acts of kindness. And I was going to decorate that tree in the back with little cutesy things that you would pick off, and then you would go be in service somewhere around town with that. But I like the way Patty did that tree, so I didn't want to mess it up with my dinkiness. So around the manger, you're invited to select a card, any card, as many cards as you want, and they're called Good Karma cards. And so you just pick one, and whatever it says, it's your challenge during the week to see if you can complete that. Okay? So that's a fun little gift for you to take with you, and right back there on the manger. I wanted to make sure I mentioned that. Also, there's a little change. I'm doing a workshop this next Saturday, December 10th, and it starts at 9 o'clock, and it was a healing and rebalancing workshop, a tapping. Kathleen Patton is spending her time with her husband, Jamie, and he's under treatment in San Francisco, so she can't make it back here for that. And so we send her our love, both of them, our support and our love for his healing. And Reverend Lynn Fritz, who is a licensed therapist. Many of you know her. She's spoken here, and she's the top dog for interfaith. Anyway, she is going to bring her talents here. And so if you are going to come next week, she's a healer in so many ways, and together we are going to present some self-care techniques, some ideas behind why tapping works, and just present a way that we can really surrender 2022 and whatever came before and move freely into 2023, renewed and refreshed. So I hope you join us next Saturday for that. And one more thing I just wanted to highlight, and maybe 360 Band can put a plug in for it. Some people have asked about if we're doing a Christmas Eve service. You know, we try to make posters and we try to put it in the newsletter and we try to talk about these things, but still it doesn't fall on everybody's ears. So we are having a Christmas Eve service here on December 24th. And it's going to highlight the Heart Sangha. The 360 will perform. We have some other performers. So we hope you join us. It's mostly music. There's a small message on my part. And we'll do a closing candlelight. And it's very moving for your entire family. So if you've got relatives coming, bring them on. December 25th, Sunday, I have called all the people that have been in service to stay home if they so choose. And it's just going to be Charlie and I here. It will not be filmed. We're going to do a small message, some chanting, some music, some meditation. And that's how we're going to spend the day itself in service to you on December 25th. So I just wanted to kind of help you plan your schedule. Okay? That's all I have.
Okay, so we have Landscape Save-A-Day led by Diana Wolfstead and Charlie Bourne. This Saturday, December 10th from 9 to noon. If you're interested in being part of the incredible team that keeps the sacred grounds of the center beautiful, please feel free to join us. Oh, there's more. Okay, exploring membership with Reverend Dr. Mary, Sunday, December 11th from 11:15 to 12:15. Dr. Mary shares what the membership means, information about the center, and answers questions. This is one of the 2 required classes for being a member. There's a few tickets left for the Riverfront Playhouse. You better watch out. That's on Wednesday, December 14th. Hors d'oeuvres at 7. Play at 7:30. Tickets are available now. I believe Marty has them in the back. We're accepting new board members. There are 2 3-year term positions opening on the board of trustees in March 2023. Requirements are to be a membership with the center for at least 1 year and complete 2 3 Science of Mind classes. Santa Claus is coming to the center December 18th following the service. If you wish to have a child take part in the festivities, please sign up at the information desk in the sanctuary. Is that it? Okay. Okay, so we'll have a reading by Lori, Welcome the Bell, and Shirley will give us a treatment, and then Sue will give her message.
Passed my friend in the hallway because I had to go to the ladies' room, so I had to give her a hug. All right. A politician was running for office, and an advance team went into a particular town. With weeks of advertising and special events staged, he went to give a speech at a local factory and to shake hands with workers. When they arrived, they found it virtually empty. No grand welcome, no one on the street. The motorcade drove through the town. It looked as though maybe there had been an emergency and the town had been evacuated. And then they came to the cemetery on the other side of town and found all the people there. They realized that everyone had turned out for a memorial service. The politician said it must have been a very important person in the town, a mayor or a city councilman, perhaps a founding father. He sent one of his aides to find out who had died, who was so important. After a couple of minutes, the aide came back and reported that the deceased's name was Marvin Jones, 77 years old, lifelong resident of the town. What was so important that the entire town would turn out? They said he had been a crossing guard for 39 years. Marvin Jones helped children to safely cross the street every morning for 39 years. He was always there, no matter the weather, no matter how he felt. He greeted the kids and parents with a smile and always talked with them about their schoolwork because he knew the kids. He asked them what they would be doing after school. He asked about their families. He knew their older and younger brothers and sisters. Marvin had never had children of his own. He said they were all his kids. His family was generational and thus very large. He helped them not only cross the street safely, he helped them grow up. And now an entire community was helping Marvin cross the street.
Please join with me in prayer. We come together this morning and we open our awareness to the presence of the divine. We're ready to let go of worries and concerns. For as we contemplate in this silence, there is an assurance that God is present and that all is well. We are aware that Spirit is our very consciousness and the source of infinite good in our lives. As we are about to enter the Christmas season, it is with a heightened awareness of our caring for family, friends, and all others. We're grateful for the gift of oneness with the divine and with each other, for we are spiritual beings. And we find happiness in sharing work, resources, and the caring that takes place as we connect with one another. We give thanks for this, our spiritual community, as we bring happiness and our willingness to share, joining in the activities of this center, our homes, and the greater community. We release our word in gratitude, knowing that God's grace guides and protects us in all that we do. And together we say, and so it is.
Hello again. Hello, Fred. You tried to sneak in, but I see you out there. So, this month, the new theme is longing to belong, and it's all about community. That's what we're about. That's what we speak of on a regular basis, being in community. And I'm looking forward to sharing throughout the month. We also have Reverend Andy coming to speak on December 18th, so that'll be something to look forward to as well. So I start with a quote from Mother Teresa. And she said, "If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other." Let that sink in for a moment, because we do belong to each other. And I think if we're willing to admit it, there has been a desire in each one of us to feel that we belong somewhere, that it's important that we're seen, that we're heard, that we're recognized. So that desire is important. And touching our very core is what it means to feel worthy, to feel valued. And I keep going back to feeling heard, to feeling the sense of someone knows me and someone sees me. So there was an affirmation that was offered for this particular message today that I found very helpful because it's so simple and it's so real. Last week I spoke a little bit about wherever you are, wherever you go, there you are. Wherever you go, there you are. This changes it just a little bit. Wherever I go, I belong. Wherever I go, I belong. So I'm going to keep referring back to that, and I invite you to take note of it, to put it in your wallet, just to remember the moments that you feel smaller than you want to feel. So the lead intention from the Center for Spiritual Living overall, the organization, knowing that we're looking at living the everyday wonder through community, they so stated as this. Again, this is such a valuable vision to me. Community is the invisible membrane that we all live inside. Community is where we play out our lives on a larger scale, consciously and unconsciously. So I ask you, what do you bring when you arrive? Now, I know there are a couple of people visiting for the first time here, or maybe returning after a long time. And so I invite you to how did you feel when you walked in? Did you feel welcome? Did you feel shy? Did you want to bolt? Did you want to hide? Were you thinking about the best seat in the back row? I've been there on so many places where I go and I'm the new face. So, but recognize that, because that is a state of being that if you're aware of, that's what you bring when you enter into a room, any room, where others are gathered, anywhere you're invited into. And it speaks loudly. It speaks loudly if you listen to why you feel excited, or why are you engaging with that sense of shyness and feeling withdrawn, and maybe even fearful and dreading it just slightly. And you just can't wait to find which chair to sit in or which wall to attach to so that you can feel more invisible. Or to hide or to be seen is that choice as soon as you walk in. The minute you cross a threshold, I invite you, as it stirs inside of you, to remember those moments, because it isn't all on you. The atmosphere of the room also has something to feed back to you. And if we aren't a welcoming presence, then let us know that. Let us know that, because sometimes we get so caught up in a week, we haven't seen each other, and I have to tell that person something, so we bolt to that person, and we might go right by you, trying to finish up some uncompleted things in our own experience. But look to see if the room is mirroring back to you what you brought in, or if it's a place that you feel a little bit hesitant to engage with anyway. Brene Brown, one of my favorites, Braving the Wilderness, says, true belonging is not passive. It's not the belonging that comes with just joining a group. No, it's not fitting in or pretending or selling out because it's safer. It's a practice that requires us to be vulnerable, to get comfortable and uncomfortable, and learn how to be present with people without sacrificing who we are. That's so important right there. We want true belonging, but it takes tremendous courage to knowingly walk in to a hard moment. So if we're honest with ourselves, not numbing ourselves to get through a door, we can name that feeling, we can name the hesitancy, or we can name the longing. And then what is it that changes that feeling? Can you stay long enough for it to be revealed? Can you stay long enough? And that brought up that old game. Remember when somebody says, there's something hidden in this room, you have to find it. And so you walk around and the people are going, oh, cold, cold, you're freezing, freezing. Oh, ice cold, oh, you're in an igloo. And then you keep searching, warmer, warmer, hot, hot, sizzle, sizzle, you found it. Boom. What was it? Someone turned and smiled to you. Someone, in that moment, when you were looking through those feelings, turned to you, and with a warm smile, eyes engaged to your heart, and you felt seen. You felt it was important that you showed up in that day. That smile becomes the gesture to me of the namaste. This gets used so much now in you see it on TV all the time. When someone receives an award, it's namaste. But the value of that gesture, the divine in me sees and recognizes the divine in each one of you. It's a holy gesture, not to be taken lightly, but to welcome it in when someone sees you with true eyes in such a way. So this idea of I smile in knowing the divine in you. But I know that game well because some people know this and some people don't, but I'm really a very shy person at heart, and Charlie's very aware of that about me. And I have this escalating anxiety. if I'm going to a party and I get to the door and I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here. What's going to be on the other side of the door? Am I dressed right? Did I brush my teeth? Do I have anything in my teeth? You know, all these things start to go through this anxiety of trying to get through the shyness, knowing this party is right behind the door. As soon as I enter, I find the nearest place to go sit. And I don't budge the whole night. And then I'm telling Charlie on the way home, hurry, I have to go to the bathroom. Because I didn't budge. It was my fault. But he is always telling me, if we go, you'll see me. When I go to the play, I won't budge. There's intermission, I won't budge. I like to feel safe. And it's just a part of me, and I know that part about myself. Maybe you felt that at times. And so that little fear, that little shyness that comes up and just keeps me put, you know, I've just lived with it. But it helps me know that when I'm inside someplace, I've arrived, and then I thoroughly enjoy myself. I can let go. I bring myself to the other side of the door. Because I know that the company I'm going to share time with are my beloved friends. And I also know that they have open hearts and welcoming attitudes about them. They would never do anything to put anybody off. We uplift each other. They all embody a sense of wholeness and welcoming. So that moment of entering a room is the place of your personal power. That's where it's revealed. How do you want to be seen? And why do you want to hide? These are answers that you can speak to each other in the social hour afterwards. Why does that very boisterous kind of personality suddenly shine through? And you enter a room and you take over. There's that too. There's the shyness and the boisterousness. So, knowing that when you're entering a space, longing to belong, you are witnessing the truth of interbeing, interdependence, and mutual empowerment. A collaboration rooted in love. This is what Mirabai Starr has to share about community, and I'm going to share more of her words in closing. So, what do you bring to community when you arrive? And it often lies in your choice to be fill in the blank. What is it? Can you name it? And that choice, because it's an energy, will influence everything else that unfolds. And you can break through it by being mindful, remembering the affirmation, wherever I go, I belong, and smile. Smile upon another. Spot someone else who feels uncomfortable, but they showed up too. And you can silently say to them, wherever you are, you belong. You don't have to be all weird about it. But there's this invitation to reaffirm our oneness, our gathering, and allow ourselves to be led in and to let go. So when we enter this bigger idea of realizing the level of influence that we're bringing into a room in community, we know that we're stepping into something greater, right? Something greater is calling us, and each one of us has gathered there to offer something. And we can heal that sense of separateness for ourselves and the other people by remembering the spiritual principle of the wholeness, which is invested in each of our hearts when we're at peace within. I love the beginning song the 360 band was singing. I get so into that. I'm sure my Om Shanti was just taking up the stage, and you're thinking, she doesn't even have a mic. Calm down over there in the corner. My boisterous self, anytime that song comes on. But we open our hearts to the space around ourselves to experience something. The idea that, yes, I belong here. Om Shanti, and it just triggers me into the years of history here. I chant Om Shanti all the time. That's why it's such a calling to me when I hear it. It connects me to everyone. So we open the hearts, and we have what we know now as a felt experience by embodying that wholeness. I belong. I was urged to arrive, and I showed up, and I set action in motion, and I enter into the co-creative field of a beautiful community. And I realize if I'm not comfortable, guess what? You can leave. Not right now, because that'll hurt my feelings. But you always have that option. You always have that option to say, you know, I've tried it. I'm just not feeling it today. It's not usually the group. Now, what we hear here sometimes is when I get there, it just seemed like a click. There's a lot of clicks. And that always burdens my heart because I think we don't mean to do that. It's just we've walked the journey, some of us, for 40 or 50 years. And so it's hard to unclick when you're excited to see them. I could call out all your names, but now I'm in a click with Fred because I mentioned Fred. But it's just, again, wave to us all, Fred. Are you with me, Fred? Wake up, Fred. So this is consider this. The beloved community unfolds as us. It unfolds as us. Jim Lockhart wrote a book called The Beloved Community, and he's a very strong, powerful minister in the Center for Spiritual Living religious science movement. And he says, when we come into community, we are recognizing the soul call to commune with others and actualizing more of our potential to love and to be of deep service to creation. It's beautiful. Now, Ernest Holmes comes underneath that with this question: what would happen if we could convert the energy of fear to faith? If you could move those butterflies in your tummy from fear to faith to love, the energy of doubt and uncertainty into a feeling of belonging to the universe, and I feel safe in it with a capital I. Would not, he says, the original artist himself go forth into new creation through us? You see, that part going through us. And the other part, the beloved community unfolds as us. The key words there, we've gotten out of our own way and Spirit is moving through us. And that's what's showing up. And that's what lights the room. So, Science of Mind principle is leading to wholeness. Wholeness is both individual, as we know, and peace and wholeness that expresses through collective expression is the concept of oneness. Being in community, creating an inviting space for each other, the community then can flourish, assist in creating a world that is working indeed for all. So yes, acknowledging how you feel is important, but before you whimper too long and shut yourself down of the feelings and just using that as an excuse to leave, stand up to yourself. Stand up and allow that part of you to step aside to see what the divine has waiting for you. Stay long enough to discover what the community is about, who cares about you that you've invited yourself into. These moments of choice are here so that we can tap into what we want to offer and what the experience has to offer back to us. It's a group dynamic because we came because something in us is missing, something we're longing for. Now we know if we take ourselves back to our childhood experiences, we remember some of those feelings, right? That you wanted to belong. Oh, I hope they pick me on the team. And they didn't. Oh, I hope I get vice president of junior high. And I didn't. But I lived, as my dad would say. Too bad, but you lived. Chess club, cheerleading, the choir, the birthday party, the slumber party, the club. It goes on forever. We go through these experiences, cultivating this idea of who we are when we show up and do we belong. And they shape our sense. They shape our innate sense of belonging. And feeling rejected or left out will only, if we don't tend to it, will support an idea of abandonment and a sense of rejection and being a loser. And we're not that. We don't need to spend any time with that. So there's always a reason. And if we can convince ourselves that we're not separate, that we do belong, we can shape an alternative way in. We can find ourselves, we don't need to turn to drugs or get snockered before we go somewhere. Just show up. This is who I am and I belong. Now, I remember this because I have that core belief, and I'm not putting myself down here because I've worked on this, but through my lifetime, that idea of I'm not good enough has eaten away at some of my sense of being. And so I share with you that a few years ago, I was left out of a minister's dinner party, a gathering. I went to a conference, and they didn't invite me. My two friends that I went with didn't invite me. And I was so self-conscious about not being invited that I just couldn't even speak to it, saying, hey, what about me? I could have said that, but I didn't. What I did was I got lost in the crowd. I got lost in the crowd like I had something better to do anyway. And then I could feel the woundedness of it all, so I decided I don't even want to be here at all. I want to go home. I was in Texas, but I want to go home. Well, I wasn't invited. And so I walked around the town, and I listened to the birds in the trees. And I kept thinking, I'm trying to listen to the birds in the trees, but I feel so sorry for myself. So I got back into the hotel room, and I totally faked it. I pretended I was sound asleep. When they came home, all jibbery-jabbery, happy, I was like, even pretended to snore. I know. I thought, they will never know. And they didn't know. They didn't know that my feelings were bruised until many, many years later, I finally mentioned it to one of them. And I remember the moment I shared it, and I can't remember. There's always an excuse why something happened. I can't remember what she said, but reaching out, she said, oh, let me take that from you. And she just, that literal feeling of taking it and putting it back, taking it from my heart and just holding it to hers and saying, I'm sorry that happened. I thought, well, no big deal. I just carried it for all this time. And then I also realized, I carry that. I'm sort of a ministerial snob because I kind of carry that when I go to these things anyway. I judge the other ones that are there, like, oh, aren't they full of themselves? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that. I don't want to. And so I kind of bring that isolation. I don't warmly embrace everyone and be, happy Reverend Sue at these things. I'm very quiet, and as I walk in and I feel my way and I find those that I resonate with, and that's where my heart opens, and that's where I make deep relationships, like Michael McMorrow that visited us, Reverend Michael, a year or so ago. These are the people that I feel are authentic in their ministry. Reverend Kat and I have these kind of conversations because it's important, that, to feel what it's like to be in a community, to walk in, to feel comfortable. So, that pity party that I put upon myself, I did need to bring my word forward to really feel finally that I could put that aside. And it helps to bring your word forward if you feel wounded or if you feel like we could do something better here to make you feel inclusive, then let us know. Let us know, and we will do everything we can to be authentic in that knowing. So I wanted to share something that David Brooks said in The Second Mountain, because when we can align with these principles of truth, there is a divine joy that starts to unfold and lead our way, and that's the magnetic pull when you enter a community others are seeing. Now, David Brooks wrote this beautiful book, The Second Mountain, and if you've never read it, it's really a beautiful book. But he says this: joy is not just a feeling. It is a moral outlook. It is a permanent state of thanksgiving and friendship, communion, solidarity. This is not an end to troubles and cares. Life doesn't offer us utopia, no. But the self has shrunk back to its proper size when relationships are tender, when commitments are strong, when communication is pure, and when the wounds of life have been absorbed. Let me take that back. And the wrongs forgiven. People bend towards each other. They intertwine with each other, and some mystical combustion happens. Love emerges between people as a single pure flame. Isn't that healing? Just to know if you can connect that way, that it is the truth for your way. I'm going to read you from Wild Mercy exactly what Mirabai says on this, because she opens her talk, and Judy's going to play a little bit in the background, because she talks about community, and this, she sums up what I've said all along today, in case I've wandered. Community and the web of interbeing. Community and the web of interbeing. You feel special. Sometimes this feels like a curse, like no one will understand you, ever. Like you will always be an alien walking among regular humans, pretending to blend in. You've learned to live with this gulf. But what you really crave is community. You long to belong to the human family. You long to belong to Mother Earth. Participating in the human condition can be bewildering. It's not always cozy and easy. It's humbling at best. Downright humiliating when it's not flowing. It can seem so much simpler to ride solo, slay your own dragons, sing the ballads you wrote about yourself. Collaboration can be tedious. The prevailing value system may have conditioned you to feel like you're giving away your power when you share it with others. So what? Give it away. It turns out that the world is filled with special beings, grappling our way through the anxiety of solitary conundrums and tasting the occasional reprieve of connection. When you realize this, your body lets out its breath and relaxes. The curse lifts. You come in with the cold, from the cold. You hold out your cup, and some other special being fills it with sweet, milky tea, spiced with the fragrant herbs you drink. It can be chaotic, all this community building, but your cooperation will save the world. Besides, it will be fun. So let's join together in a prayer that brings us into that circle that we spoke of, that invisible circle. And know that what has led us in is a divine urge to step away from moments of isolation into an experience of oneness with others. And when we can allow ourselves the courage to lead ourselves by our heart space, to recognize what it is trying to tell us and inform us, then we gather the courage, the sense of wholeness, the sense of purpose, the sense of belonging, the sense of deep love. And we enter with our most vulnerable self, our most authentic self, and what we create from there is something real, something powerful, something that is magnetically calling in others that have that same passion for I want to live and I want to belong and I want to enjoy this world, this life, this power, this beauty, all of the qualities of God. I want to share that. I want to smile with other people. I want to embrace one another. I want to hold each other's hands again. and not be afraid of a germ. I want to embrace the world. I want to call it into my heart. And I know that that's what community builds. I want to be able to invite everyone into a place of service and love. And as we build this place together, we recognize there's so much we can do together, hand in hand and heart in heart. We can travel this day together and the next day, and we find each other. We find each other wherever we go, we belong. Wherever we go, we belong. And a smile changes everything. So thank you, God, for the innate joy, the deep truth of truly what it means to be in service to the divine. That's all that's being called for here. As we love the divine, we are loved back. So I give thanks for this time, the message shared, the wisdom that flowed. To each one who had the heart and the ears to hear. Thank you, God. Let's let it be. And so it is. 360. Thank you.
You're on fire.
Speaking about community, connections.
Oh, man.
We'll sing it a little
And our
higher.
friends singing. No, this will be better.
Sometimes at a musical gathering, while greeting some friends old and true, I'll discover an intense kind of kinship with someone familiar but new. Now I'm not one who believes much in past lives, but I'm puzzled by the way that I feel. Is this a new door, or have we met before? My knowledge of you seems so real. For haven't I already met you? Did we dance on some other bright shore? Did we trade late night secrets and chocolate? Did we laugh till our sides became sore? Did we sing round the campfire one summer in a past we can no longer see? I can't name the place, but I still know your face, and you sure seem familiar to me. I was raised to believe in the heaven, one trip through this life and that's all. Void is what we were before earth, waiting for God's summons to call. Then God puts a coin in the handle of the great cosmic gumball machine. Down the big chute we slide on our one-way ride, blank we arrive on the scene. Oh, didn't I already met you? Did we dance on some other bright shore? Did we trade late night secrets and chocolate? Did we laugh till our sides became sore? Did we sing round the campfire one summer in a past we can no longer see? I can't name the place, but I still know your face, and you sure seem familiar to me. Did we mingle before we were born yet? Is our life here some sort of a test? Do our souls scamper off while we're sleeping and party while we get our rest? Will I meet you again in the next life? Will it be up in heaven or here? I think I can say that no matter which way, I'll know you again, never fear. Yes, I'll know you again, never fear.
I'd like to invite the ushers up, please. As I prepare to give my offering, my heart is filled with love and appreciation, since what is offered here is for my spiritual well-being. I am filled with gratitude, knowing life stays in balance, for as I give, I do receive.
The next song we're going to do was written by Christy McVie, who just passed. And it's a love song. And love is love is love is love.
For you, oh, there'll be no more crying. For you, the sun will be shining, and I feel it when I'm with you. It's all right. Oh, I know it's right. To you, I'll give the word. To you, I'll never be cold, 'cause I feel it when I'm with you. It's all right. Oh, I know it's right. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. And I wish you all the love in the world. But most of all, I wish it from myself. And the songbirds are singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Like never before. Like never before.
Beautiful. I give thanks for the blessed donations received in the offering this morning and during the week. I know each dollar supports this spiritual family in many ways as we grow together, pray together, and give thanks for all the sinner has been blessed with today and always, and so it is.
And speaking of plug Christmas Eve, you ought to be there. It's still information, we're bringing it together, but it's so wonderful to have the choir back and a new iteration with Gwen, and we're learning songs we haven't done before. I haven't done before.
What time on Christmas Eve?
It's at 7, right? 7 a.m. Be there
Or be square.
or be there.
Oh, okay.
And you can sing on this one too, and you can move on this one too, because Sue brought kindness and community into the conversation today, and we're going to sing on it.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. The helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love, the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Look up now, people, keep your ear to the ground. We are the river flowing, generosity abound. So give a little, or give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Honeybees serve sweetness only to help the world bloom. Bringing love to the flower and the flower to the fruit. We can learn a thing or two. So give a little, or give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love, the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming. We can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, or give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round. There's more than enough. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Ooh,
Power of love, kindness,
power of love.
Yeah, they always bring out the perfect songs. You can stand or be seated or whatever. I wanted to say one more thing. It's this cute little elephant. I'm going to put it on the bulletin board. But the Sizers have done this for many years. They adopt elephants. And it's, Barbie, it's from Africa, right? And this organization, if you're trying to figure out a gift to give, you can just look up this website, Sheldrick Wildlife Trust. Anyway, you can adopt an elephant, and Barbie and Brad adopted one. It has my name on it, but it's the church elephant, and it's her name's Lemoyan. Anyway, it's so cute, and I'll be keeping things posted throughout the year as we follow the sweet little life of this elephant. Another way to give, but thank you, Barbie and Brad. It's such a generous offering. So don't forget, as you leave, take a couple cards. I want to see how many you can collect by the end of the year of your service of love out into the community at large. And you can even take that card once you've done your duty. You can leave it somewhere. Leave it on a box of Cheerios and see if somebody else will pick it up and carry on the kindness. So enjoy the rest of this beautiful rainy day as we bless our mountains with snowpack. Yay God, right? Yay God. As our lakes fill up and our rivers flow, this blessing of rain. Still have time to buy the raffle tickets, enjoy the bookstore and the social hall. Bill and Shirley do such a gift for us. And I know that you're kind of private, Judy, but let's just put your hands this way to Judy and just know you're sending her healing light. We won't see her for a couple weeks, but she's going to get her body all fixed up, so she's ready to dance on New Year's. Yeah, so we send our love and our healing to you. So thank you, everyone, for being here on this rainy, beautiful day. Thank you.